Sup YouTube? I wanted to share an awesome experience I had. I wanted to share my birthing experience because I did an at-home birth 4 times. And so I wanted to share that experience with you as quickly and as productively as I can so that it can maybe more push you or maybe make you curious to try it this way. But the first one I had, I did with a midwife, and the reason why I did it is because my sister had also done an at-home birth, and so it got me curious about it. Plus there wasn't like the expensive cost, especially if you don't have insurance to go to the hospital, so that took that out. And so it was about, I believe, $800 to birth with a midwife at this time. And so I had done it. I got to meet the midwife. I also read Anime's book that talks a lot about hypnobirthing. They gave a lot of cool scenarios to you, options that women can really do. I mean, options that you would never think of, or options like after your baby is born. The idea of really knowing how to take care of yourself, being able to use that hypnobirthing experience for later on in life. You know, hypnobirthing, anything is useful. We all have this tool. We just have to understand how to use it so that things we don't want to go through, we don't have to if we use this technique. Even my husband had tried it. Crazy enough, he had tried it when he was kind of having some rough bowel movements. And so I had used the techniques to be able to have a more productive pooping experience. And so I had done this technique with my first, second, third, and fourth. I was able to use it through all of them. However, the environment changed with each one. Like each birthing experience, I was able to learn a lot more with each one. My first one, I was nervous and scared. And so when the baby came out, they actually had to cut me, which it was necessary at the time because I didn't know any other way, but I recommend people understanding really how to understand their body, how to use it. That way your first birthing experience won't be so traumatic, because a lot of what I was lacking in is understanding how to birth. I didn't trust my body at that time. I was going off of like the midwife's vibes, you know, which for the first experience, it was absolutely wonderful. I was so glad she was there. She was able to help me breathe through it because I was really freaking out, you know, and she kept saying, Shelly, hell, you know, come back to life, you know, that type of thing. And so they got the baby out. My placenta was white, the baby was blue, and everything worked out fine, you know, after. But second one, I actually took a hypnobirthing class, and so when I birthed the second one, she was born in her water sac, which was really cool. I've heard some people say that when they're born in their water sac, I guess it makes them more intuitive or something. There's some kind of connection with that. So cool, whatever, you know. Hey, all my kids are special in my opinion. They all have their special gifts. Then my third one, I had birthed at my mom's place down in Manti, and I'm a quick birther. I could have birthed that baby in 15 minutes. With each one, your mind is so connected to your baby. It's unbelievable. Just because I had gotten so used to it, I knew exactly what I wanted. I had an even more amazing midwife, which totally changed how I was about to do my fourth birth, because my third midwife was just kind of like, hey, you know exactly what to do it your way. She didn't even intervene unless I asked her to, which was amazing. You know, a lot of other midwives had to say, like, to step in the way, and it almost puts an energy vibe to the mom that it's like they can't trust themselves. And so she let me do my thing, and I was no pain whatsoever. It was enjoyable. I know this sounds crazy, especially from what the media says about birthing, but I think people are starting to wake up to it now that birthing is not painful. It was enjoyable. It was so amazing, but I noticed, oh God, I noticed right away that as soon as my environment changed, that it started to get me a little bit more stressed out, you know, because like they're saying, well, you have to go in this position and that kind of thing, and I was just like, why can't I just go in the position I want? And the biggest thing that I did not like that I wanted was I felt like this need when my baby was born, that coating, the vernix coating that they're covered in, I wanted to be able to rub it in myself with my hand, no towels, just me. And I never got that chance to do it up until my 4th baby. And so, which ultimately changed my idea about birthing. I decided to do an unassisted birth on my next one. I felt confident about it. I'd already been looking into Laura Shanley's stuff, you know, and I'd already seen her previous two, because I thought about doing this with my 3rd baby. But I didn't feel ready yet. You know, you have to feel ready to do those things, and I had to do it in steps, you know? So I felt way more confident about it. The biggest thing I was mostly concerned about was if my husband was going to be ready for this, because I was very attentive on my other ones. I noticed how he was on all of them, which he was amazing, you know? And so I wanted to feel that connection with him. And so after going into labor, and it's crazy, your baby totally talks to you. It tells you exactly when it's going to come if you're willing to listen. And so I gave the baby permission. I said, you can come. And instantly, right away, I went to the bathroom, had my bloody show, that type of thing, and I was like, okay, it's time. So I was kind of getting nervous, because this was new for me. I wasn't used to having just me to depend on, even though I know I could do it. I kept hearing what Laura Shanley says about, as much as your body knows how to breathe in and out the air, it's going to know how to deliver a baby, you know, and your body knows exactly where to put things. It's going to know exactly how to push out things. And so my husband asked, do you want, you know, some help, that type of thing. So anytime I wanted him to help me out, I would communicate with him like this and just say, hey, I want you to push my hips. You know, I'd raise up my hand, and then when I was done, I'd put it down, and he would push on my hips to help open things up. But the biggest thing I noticed is I needed to be relaxed, and that's why I want people to start working on how to relax themselves now, so that they can be able to fully experience it, because it was amazing. I mean, when I had my baby was coming out on what they would call the ring of fire, the part that's supposed to be the most painful, and it wasn't. I was able to really connect with this baby, and I'm not kidding, I was able to hear my baby's thoughts. He told me exactly what to do, and I told him exactly what to do. I told him if he was around the wrong way, I told him to flip and he would do it. He told me what position to take so he could come out. It was beautiful, it was magical. So I changed my position, because I was going off of the positions I tried on my other ones, and they were not working. So I just kept seeing this position of me being, you know, like on my knees and birthing this way. I felt like that was the position that my baby wanted me to take, and I took it, and I'm so glad I did, because it was enjoyable again, you know? Like, I was able to push him out, and it was beautiful. Birthing is amazing. The biggest thing I wanted to get away from is from other people's pressure. That's why I wanted to do an unassisted birth, because I didn't want people to tell me what position I had to take, because I know exactly what positions those are. So that is my birthing experience. Have a great one, y'all, and let this be a lesson.